a better understanding of the way the mind works and how to really tap into it, how to change yourself. The only thing that we could ever affect in our reality is not the things outside of us, but actually the way we think. Things outside of us are a representation of how we use our mind, our mindset, and what we're here to do is help you change that. The day you really realize that you were born rich, you're infinitely possible, you have infinite power, you're going to start to want to change, but you're not going to. And that's what we're here for. We're here to teach you how to change yourself to become the person that you want to be. And it's rare that somebody does that. More often than not, people just continue to stay the way they are, live the way they are, talk the way they've talked in the past. Change maybe a little, average 15%. Think about that. Every generation that lives, on average, they grow and they stretch 15%. Majority less than that. You may get 20 to 30, but that's rare. It's rare you see somebody changing their family's way of doing things. But you can do that. And if you get into our programs and you invest in yourself, we can show you how to do it. All month we're talking about the transformation of energy. And we're following the prosperity teachings, law of success teachings that Napoleon Hill was teaching. We're doing that monthly. So every month we have a seminar, and this month is the mystery of sex transmutation. And what does that really mean? Well, it means the transforming of one energy to another. When we really learn that we are transforming energy one day to the next, we're always doing that. You're transforming energy 1 second to the next. The thing is, you really are not even aware or in charge of what you're transmuting. One minute you're thinking about what you're going to eat. The next minute you're looking at what time it is. The next minute you're not focused. And then when it comes to your life, you stop growing. You stop betting on yourself. You stop developing yourself. You see, personal development is a choice. And we were never taught that the minute you stop changing yourself, you stop growing. That's right. In school, they taught you to repeat for 300 days a year. Do you not think that society knew something? So they told you, you've got to go to school for 12 years and you've got to repeat for 300 days. What are you doing? Suggestion. They gave you a suggestion and everybody a suggestion. Then they made it a rule. And then everybody goes to school certain ages. Why? Because they knew if they stay in the comfort of their family's home, that's all they'll ever be. So they wanted to mingle everyone, mix everyone. Why? To bring more awareness to all the children, to help them give an opportunity to change. And so what do? Send you to school. And you do that for first grade all the way to 12th grade. And then they ask you, what are you going to be? Who are you going to be? And ultimately, you want to go into the physical world, you've got to pay for yourself. You've got to earn money so that you can live, so that you can experience yourself outside of yourself. And the more you want to experience, the more you have to earn. The more you want to have, the more you need to earn. The more service you provide, the more wealthy you are. And then so they give you a platform of these different self-images for you to pick and choose from. But the average individual has no clue. They have no clue. Even the education system, most of the people that are teaching education, they have no clue. You're going to say, well, how would they not have a clue? They should know. If they knew about the psychology behind the mind, the education system wouldn't be able to afford them because they couldn't be able to pay them what they're worth and what they do. So no, they don't know. People get paid to teach because they were taught to get paid for their memory, but not doing it. Universities study books and books and books. Teachers get paid for what they know. Rarely are they getting paid for what they do. Because if they could do all the things they've learned, they wouldn't be able to afford them. Really think about that. You see, there's a difference in the psychology behind belief and behavior. And when you can't go beyond the belief of an individual, it doesn't matter how much they know. They won't do it. The minute someone wants to go beyond their own belief, and you could check this, I may be talking to you. Check this. When have you ever gone beyond what you believe is possible for you? The minute we get to the point to where we're going beyond what we physically know how to do, you stop. Why? Because in your subconscious mind, there's a cybernetic mechanism. And they didn't teach you this in school. Now you're starting to wonder, well, why wouldn't they teach me that in school? So it doesn't matter how much you know. If you cannot override that cybernetic mechanism, if you can't tap into your subconscious mind, and you can't give yourself a command and go into the unknown, and learn how to control the flow of thought energy, you're done. You have literally gone more or less as far as you're ever going to go. And some of you are starting to really think, is that why I'm stuck? And this is not just one person. This is everybody. This is global. So depending upon the family members that you grew up in and the way they thought, that was your set of instructions. And that is that's the eyes and the ideas and the thoughts that you view the world from. And it's not that you cannot have more. You're going to literally have to continue to develop yourself, and you're going to have to continue developing the ideas that are in your programming and go beyond them. You go to university, they say you can choose 2-year degree, 4-year degree, 60-year degree, maybe up to 8 years. 2, 4, 6, 8? Why would they tell you you have to still go, in order for you to earn that amount of money, you've got to repeat it for 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years. Why? Because again, the only way that you're going to penetrate your programming, your ideas, and your memory is through repetition. So according to how many times you're willing to repeat information into your memory box, that's what we're going to pay you for. But you don't earn that kind of money until you can act it out. So here, you get a 6-year degree. What did you do? You went to school again. You paid for the books. You got the book. Then you read this over and over and over again until you what? You memorized it. You see? So here you went, auto-suggestion to penetrate it into the subconscious mind to the point to where you could think it and then talk about it. You've got to be able to talk about it. And then you got the opportunity, after you've proven that you've got all of that information and you spent the years of reprogramming. You see, you don't get a thing until you can put it into the subconscious mind. See, they were doing this to you in school. You didn't even know it. But how many continued to repeat information into their subconscious mind after university? Now you know why you stayed where you're at. Beyond that, you go into the workplace so that you can learn how to express the memory you've been downloading. So then you go to college to reprogram, and then you go into the field, and you don't get top pay. but you do get better paid than everyone else. Why? Because nobody else has shown that they have the ability to reprogram. So they get paid less money. But the person with the plaque, the person with the degree, is telling a business owner, businessman, that that person is worth investing in because they're disciplined, they're focused, they're willing to develop themselves, and they're willing to continue learning to express a new memory, new information, to the point to where now they're ready to act it out. They're willing now to act out that memory in an expression. So they're going to earn more money because they're showing their willingness to continue developing themselves beyond what they were. They're willing to develop themselves continuously beyond what they were before. They're willing to reprogram. You see, the words I'm using are not normal. Everybody bought into this idea at school. Nobody even knew what was going on. But I'm teaching you the blueprint behind what they were doing. Why do I know everybody needs this around this world? Because everybody stopped. Whether they stopped at high school or they went on to college, but at some point they stopped what? Auto-suggesting memory into their brain, conscious, then the subconscious mind, to the point to where they can repeat it and talk about it. And if you don't continue doing that, it's not going to get to the action part of your body, and you don't demonstrate none of that knowledge. Eventually, you forget about it. You see, this is why this is so important, so that you understand what we're teaching, because we're teaching people how to do as they do not do. We teach people to do what they do not want to do. That is your program. That's what they teach you all your school years. They're teaching people to do what they don't want to do. They're teaching people to do what they do not know how to do. How do you change a habit? You've got to do something completely opposite of what you do. And guess what you're going to do? Because you're doing something that you don't know how to do, you're not going to want to do it. Why? Because you weren't programmed in that behavior. You see, everything that we're doing and we're teaching is we're teaching people how to go beyond what they are. They did that in the education system. They did it to a point. Do I think we need to improve the education system? Of course I do. Because this and what I'm teaching should be straightforward. If they were to tell everyone in the education system straightforward, you were programmed. You are a walking, talking program of your family members. And if you're not willing to download new memory, focus with putting new memory patterns in your brain, you have nothing more to work with than what you have. Make sense now? You actually have nothing more to work with than what you have. If I were to take this box, and I were to take this puzzle pieces, this is a 100 puzzle piece, and I take this box, and they give me, my family gives me these words, their pictures, their images. And they give me this information. 0 to 5 is the age when your subconscious mind shuts, closes. That's why you have to repeat your ABCs over and over again. That's why you have to repeat your numbers over and over again. That's why you have to repeat everything over and over again. Why? Because it's through the repetition that you penetrated into your filing cabinet. You and I have a filing cabinet. In that filing cabinet is where we store information. What they gave you from 0 to 5 was what they knew, what they talked about, the way they acted, the way they treated each other, what they knew about relationships, the amount of money they earned, how they earned money, and everything they did. Where did it go in? Right into your box. Then you do exactly what you're supposed to do. You begin to think. 0, 1, 2, 3. You begin to think. Like who? Like them. What are you doing? You're shaking their ideas. You're moving their ideas around. You think something else is going to land? No. That's going to land. It doesn't matter how many times you try to re-originate, you're using their ideas. Now, am I saying that you won't be different? Of course you're going to be different. Because you are what? Unique. And you want to be different. You don't want to be like them. So you keep mixing these ideas, and you begin to become inspired, and you begin to aspire, and you begin to want to be more. And so you start to look around. You try to identify yourself with other people. You go to school, and what do? Follow the leader. And then so you're following other people. What are you doing? You're grasping more memory, more ideas from other people, trying to gather as much as you can over and over again because you want to be unique. But you're starting from their base knowledge. How many of you that are watching this knew this? You're on Facebook, you're on the platforms. Put a number 1. I didn't know. Research what I'm telling you. Literally, look, I want you to, don't believe me, go look at it. This is going to make you aware that you didn't know, that you didn't know. You didn't know that you were programmed. And it's through the repetition that you're going to change. So whatever age you stopped, changing yourself on purpose to express that memory is the day you stop growing. And that's the truth. The day that you stopped, some of you went all the way to university. You picked a self-image and you're earning that amount of money. The day that you stopped taking information, not only for the memory of it, but to act it out, is the day you stop growing. That's why you're still earning the same amount of money. That's why you're still living the same lifestyle. Nobody understood this. Rare. People that really understand the psychology, programming, conscious, subconscious mind. What do? Continued education. Educo. We teach real education. And we teach people how to do what they do not know and what they do not want to do. We ask, we figure out what is it that you really desire? What is it that you really want? How do you truly want to live? What goal do you want to set? And then we start the process of goal achieving. 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, you're somebody new. You're learning the basics. You're learning the fundamental structure of the way the mind works. Within 2 years, you've learned how to set a goal, achieve a goal, one that you would never have done, and one that you would have never experienced. Why? Because you were not the person to do those things. I changed my life not 1, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 6 times. I have been changing my mindset for many, many years. And what I'm doing is I'm reprogramming myself every year, all year round. I'm not the same person I was a year ago. Why do I keep doing this? Because I know that there's so much more. Some of you may know me, some of you may not, but the person I was 20 years ago is not the same. 10 years ago, not the same. Because I have taken the root guts of self-transformation and we built a business out of it. Now, we work with people all over the world. We've worked with people, a lot of it, we've worked with people that are international. They've got a bigger desire to change themselves than people here so far. Isn't that amazing? Now, why would that be so? The United States makes it kind of comfortable for people to be comfortable. But you're not going to go anywhere different. Nothing wrong with being comfortable for a little bit. But if you're comfortable for a long time, you're not going to be happy. The personal development field was meant for people that believe that they have more to give to life. The personal development field was built for people that are not willing to conform to society, conform to the old way of doing things, and conform to the way of doing things. Personal development means that the individual has initiated in themselves going beyond what they are. Are you going to get this the first time? Nope. You're just getting an awareness about it. Are you going to get it in a 1 month, 2 months, 3 months later? Nope. You're becoming aware of it. Now, if you start taking actions with the new memory, are you going to get it faster? Yes, you will. I've had people in 3 months earn 6 figures a month. Do you need to stay in the classes? Yes, you do. Because if you don't totally reprogram that in your subconscious mind, you go back to what you are. You've got to keep doing it until you've got it, and you can do it with ease. Old habits, old behaviors want to come back in. If you don't stay in the practice of repeating it over and over again, yes, because your program, your mind, is habitual by nature. You've got to actually change yourself. And it's through the repetition that you change yourself. Some of you may say, well, I don't want to do that. Then don't. Stay where you're at. I don't want to learn that. Then don't. Stay where you're at. We're here to invest in people that are willing to go beyond and change themselves. I don't want to work with somebody that's not willing to work on themselves. And I'm not going to waste my time on them. If you're not willing to do the work, I'll fire you. You're not willing to invest in yourself and change yourself, you're wasting my time. You've got to be willing to do the work. And you've got to be willing to change yourself. And you may say, well, that's kind of arrogant. There's a lot of people that need a lot of help. How much time do I have to help a lot of people? We have classes Monday through Friday teaching this information. And then we have our programs on Saturdays. And we also have programs during the week. It's the programs that we run on Saturdays, we have them at different times during the week. So anybody and everyone can do it. We have it physically, we do it on Zoom. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're at. I could be side by side working with you. I'm going to play this short video. You guys would take some notes. A lot of people didn't know that they didn't know. You'll never know what you don't know until you're willing to look. Zach, can you run that through the sound out here, please? Give me 1 second. No sound at all? No sound? Yep. That's fine. It's not even letting me share. You're going to have to make my iPad the host, co-host. All right, here we go.
Now, we spend a lot of time thinking about this. If you were expecting something, you expect it here on a conscious level. You would expect it here on a subconscious level, and that would put you into the vibration that you have to be in to attract everything that's required for the manifestation on the physical plane and results. That would be the way it is. Now, here is the hooker in this. Look. We can get it so that we expect it here, and there's trouble in River City here, Tommy. What do you think? Where's Tommy?
I agree, Bob.
You agree with that, Mikey?
Yeah.
See, that's where our dilemma is. Now, just set that down for a bit, Scott. Mikey, when we're talking about this effortless way, what we're talking about here is assumption, and you just assume it. That would make it real, definite, and final, already done. Let's look at that. Hold on a minute. What does assumption mean?
A thing that is accepted as true or is certain to happen without proof. Do you want to hear the next one?
No, that's fine. It's certain to happen without proof. The proof comes in the understanding. This is precisely why Solomon said, in all you're getting, get understanding. Now, really think about this for a moment. We're tying in expect an abundance. Let's look at the first paragraph, just the first paragraph here. The mind is a powerful magnet and as such attracts to whatever corresponds to its ruling state. Expectation dictates what that ruling state will be and therefore governs what corresponds to the mind and is attracted into your life. Expectation can be either a blessing or a curse. But either way, it's certainly one of the most powerful unseen forces in your life. Now, if a person's expecting more, they're going to get more. Yet not everyone is getting more this year than they were last year. With some people, it's going on a downward trend. It's not going up where they want it to go. And why isn't it? Well, let's put that stick person up there again, Scott. Look at this for a moment. Here we are here, are thinking, feeling, acting. And outside here, in our outside world, we are getting inundated with negative information. Now, we're trying to stay positive here in our consciousness. We're getting inundated every day. We're hearing about how many more hundreds of people have died. How a car turned over on the highway and all kinds of people killed. That was just on my phone when I picked it up this morning. That's very negative information is hitting us. So how do we keep ourselves on the positive track when we have been programmed pretty well to live through our senses, although we know that that's not the right way to go? Expect an abundance. Are you expecting an increase in your income? If your answer to that question is how much do you expect, or what are you doing to increase the income? See, if we expect it, we're doing something that's going to cause it to happen. I don't believe a person can actually expect better results when they're not following through with action. It isn't going to happen. You're not going to see that. If you expect better results, you're going to follow through on it. I called Arash.
If we expect an abundance, we would be doing something. So why do we not do? Huh?
We don't believe it.
Well done. The majority of people don't believe. Why do you not believe?
The programming.
There you go. You see, there's a self-image inside of you that expects what it knows. Expect an abundance. But the thing is, the minute you start thinking of possibilities, you're going back to what you were programmed to know, what I know. We teach people here to do as you do not do, to do what you do not know and you do not know how to do. But that's exactly why you stay stuck all these years, because you keep doing what you know. Could you ever change? If you stayed with the same habit, the same behavior, would you change? No.
Absolutely.
And we don't question it. We just keep on doing it. Why? Because it's what we know. We keep doing things because that is what we know. I downloaded this new GoodNotes and it seems like it's taking a while. I don't know if I have to. It's GoodNotes. We got Zach talking in my ear. You have an internal self-image inside of you. The beliefs that you hold about yourself, what you believe you are worth, what you believe you are worthy of. These ideas is what's thinking. That is what you behave like. The image inside of you is what's controlling your behavior. And as Bob said earlier, we have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. Let's look at this. This is our conscious mind. This is our intellect. Intellect. And then you have this, you consciously think here, and then we have the subconscious. This subconscious is where the self-image was made. This is where you have all of your ideas from the past. And every time you think, you're thinking from here. You think directly from your programming, and that is here. So when I say, why don't you do better? You say, I don't know. You know better. I know. But you don't go and do more. You know you could do more, but you don't go and do more. The body is the instrument, but the body already has its what? Its vibration in it. So when you think, it's actually all of these ideas that are actually in here. That's thinking. Every time it's time for you, and maybe you may have a happy face. You could have a happy face. But you're still not getting better results. Why? I've seen happy people with poor results, poor experiences. They're not happy with the experience, which is what? The house. They want more. Everybody wants more. The car. Everybody wants more. Why? Because our spiritual essence is always for more. But you don't do more and you don't get more, not because you can't, because you've been programmed not to have more. You've been programmed to think like this. And you've got to literally change the way you think. One year, 6 months to 2 years. Teaching you how to change yourself. We don't get what we want, we get what we are. Let's look at what do beliefs do to a person. These are the beliefs. Beliefs develop a perception. The perception is a behavior. This is how you act. And almost all behavior is habitual. It's a habit already. Look at every habit you have and look how hard habits are hard to break. So is the problem the habit? Habit's a result of what? The behavior. Why is your behavior? Why do you keep acting like that? Because of your perception. Well, if this is your perception, why don't you change it? Well, they're from the root cause, my beliefs. And where are the beliefs? Directly in your programming. So when you think, your beliefs are thinking. Where are your beliefs? All in here. Every time you say, I want more, or I want to have more, who tells you and who talks you out of it? Who talks you out of growing and developing yourself? There's actually a program inside of you that talks to you. And it will talk you out of everything when you don't know or believe. It will talk you out of changing yourself. It will literally control your behavior. So look at the way you've been experiencing life today. How much of it was actually what you want? And how much of it is solely what you know? School gave us valuable knowledge. But they only really went as far as really memory. The doing was not taught. So that's why they graded you. But that's why when you came out of the physical world, you no longer get paid for your grades unless you're a teacher. Right? Who gets paid for their memory? Teachers. But again, do they have superior results? When I say superior, I mean, I'm talking about changing the world. They may change other people, and that's huge. But what they didn't understand, if they didn't change, if they didn't get what they're learning and learn how to express it in actions, they're not going to have the results outside of their life either. Why? Because they're only putting the memory in there for a grade or to teach someone else about it. They're not learning how to do it themselves. There's a difference in what you know and what you do. And this is what we've been telling everybody. There's a big difference between what you know. What you know, this is your conscious mind. You know I can do better, but you don't do better. Earlier, we don't listen to understand. We don't listen. You're not here listening. Majority of people are not here listening to go and do what I'm saying. Majority of you are hearing right up here. These up here are antennas. You can see me right now and you can hear me. But majority of you are not listening. To listen means you're so emotionally involved that you're going to go and act out what I'm saying. There's a difference. How many times you hear your mother say, and she's talking, but you're just hearing, you're not listening, you're not emotionally involved. And they say, huh, what? You're not listening, you're hearing. You hear with your ears, but you listen with your emotions. See the difference? The difference is school teaches you to hear with your ears, but they're not teaching you how to do it. Majority of you are hearing me right now, but you're not going to go and do what I'm saying. That means listen means you're going to deposit what I'm saying. If I tell you, let's set a goal and make a plan today exactly to go execute that goal, if it's something you do not know, you may put this image here and say, yes, I want it. But you're not listening until you can deposit it here and say, yes, I am doing it. And then you've got to deposit that into the body. And then this is where you hit trouble. Bob said earlier, he said, you hit trouble whenever you decide that you're going to go and do what the new idea means. Why? Because your body is not used to doing that energy, feeling that energy, and acting on it. This is where the majority of people reject the new idea. If I say, try it today. Go set up a business that earns $1 million a month. Try it. Some of you may even turn this off, say, I can't do that. Of course not. Why? Because the minute I said $1 million a month, when it went into your subconscious mind to check if it's possible, you immediately checked out because it's not possible for you. Why? Because you don't believe that you can do it. You see how quickly the mind works? When I said $1 million a month, how many of you were like, this is phony, this is bull, and you just want to just get out of it? Because the minute I said something beyond what you know, your own program quickly and automatically kicks out the idea and you want to dismiss it. Why? So that you don't have to face who? Yourself. But that's not the real you. That's how they educated you. We're educating people differently. There's perfection in you. I've worked with people that were completely down and out. I've seen somebody go from earning $20,000 a year to doing over $6 million a year in a period of 6 years now. How is that possible? They were willing to learn to change themselves. Willing to learn to do what they don't know and they don't want to do. There's a lot to put into this in 1 hour, but if you're willing to invest in yourself, to change yourself, send me a message. That's what we're here for. Otherwise, you stay with its prior intelligence, and you know you're more. We're at our time. I want to thank everybody that's here. If If you have any questions, leave them on Facebook. You can send me a private message. If you're ready for change, bet on yourself and make a decision and tell your body that from now on, my life belongs to me. Tell that program, you're no longer making my decisions anymore. And get involved. Everybody have a wonderful day.